Dietitian come talk to you?
Yes, sir. Can you talk to her about the food that they've been sitting in here? I didn't touch that.
Well, that's good. Good lunch.
I don't eat that.
You don't like meat?
I don't eat stuff like this.
But that's good nutrition. That's good protein, right?
I don't eat beans at all. I haven't really ate nothing since I've been here.
You're not gonna fade away. You're gonna be fine.
I still have to eat something.
No.
Hey everybody, it's Tony with Big T Bariatric, and I'm back at you with another video. Today it is Wednesday. I hope you're having a great day so far. So today I'm going to do another My 600 Pound Live compilation, and this time it's Dr. Now's Savagery. I think the reason why the show has taken off the way it has is because of Dr. Now. He's what makes the show what it is. Him being savage, him telling the patients how it is, not letting them get away with whatever it is they want to get away with. This is the first time most of these patients have ever been held accountable for their behavior and for the decisions that they've made in their life. And so that's what makes the show really great. And really, it's what allows him to save so many lives. It's not just the fact that he does weight loss surgery, but he gets them in there, he tells them what to eat, he encourages them, he offers to help them in any way that he can. But anyways, let's get into this compilation right away.
The way that you're living with your weight right now, you're rolling the dice that any day something happens, that will be too much for your body. It will be the final straw, and then next thing you know, you won't pull through.
Dr. Now is a firm believer in tough love, and he hasn't changed his ways during the latest season of My 600 Pound Life. Season 11 features plenty of great stories, but just about every patient ran into some hiccup along the way, and Dr. Now did not hesitate to put these folks back in their place.
Yeah, I sincerely believe that is the great part about Dr. Now, is he puts them in their place. He doesn't buy their BS. Now, most of these people, as I've talked about in several other videos, they have enablers who do buy their BS. The enablers allow them to get away with treating others like garbage and eating whatever they want and, just really sympathizing with them in all the wrong ways. But Dr. Now says, listen, you got to do this. There's no other option. There's no more coddling you. There's no more treating you like a baby, like Stephen Asante wants to be treated like a baby. And I think a lot of these other patients do too, because they went through trauma, they went through whatever they went through, and so they never really grew up, and so their whole way of coping is their food addiction. And so they try to use and manipulate and do whatever they can to keep up with that addiction. And Dr. Now says, listen, you just can't do it anymore.
Just stay right there.
I'm hurting.
Right off the bat here, you know you're in a bad way when you only step a few steps off of a wheelchair to get onto a scale and you're that out of breath and you're in that much pain. I mean, I've absolutely been there. I've been in that much pain. I've been that out of shape. So when these fat activists say, oh, there's no consequences for your obesity, like, really? You're not noticing how difficult it is to do very easy things, mundane things, things that everybody else can do without getting out of breath? You're not noticing that? You don't feel the pain on your body, on your joints when you try to do basic things? Really? I'm not buying it, and neither is Dr. Now.
All right, your weight is 632.
This is Latonya's first weigh-in for this episode, but this isn't her first trip to Dr. Now's. She met up with the doctor before, but this time she's serious about trying to lose all that weight.
I'm not too happy with that, but it could have been worse. At least it's not something more extreme.
I really can't stand this attitude. Oh, it could have been worse. It's not that extreme. Are you serious? You are almost on your deathbed. You cannot take a few steps away from the wheelchair without being in extreme pain, and you're saying it's not as bad as it could have been. It's not a big deal. You're just shrugging it off. Oh, it could have been worse. Seriously? Come on now, that's pathetic.
But I know I'm heavier than I was last time I was here.
And she's put on weight since her last visit, so I'm sure Dr. Now will have something to say about that.
That you came in 5 years ago when you were 482 pounds. And now you're 631 pounds.
Oh wow, that is a huge gain, especially since it's only been 5 years.
Well, you came here before and you were given a chance to make those changes. And in the past 5 years, you haven't made those changes. What is different today? Tell me.
Yeah, Dr. Now is not letting Latonya forget about her earlier failures, nor should he.
Are you hungry in the morning?
No, sir.
But if you're not hungry, you don't have to eat.
But the doctor told me that if I don't eat, then my metabolism is high or low or something like that.
Okay, let me tell you one thing. Everybody gonna confuse you, but you should never get confused about one thing, eat less.
Yes.
Okay? There's no confusion with that.
I mean, Dr. Now is being absolutely brutal in his honesty here. There is no confusion. Where's the confusion coming from? She's been in his program before. She knows his diet. She knows what she should be doing. But all these excuses and lies saying, oh, I'm not hungry in the morning. Are you serious? To get that big, you're just like every other patient here who cannot wait to get up in the morning and stuff their face. And you stuff your face all day long. There's no way you're in the 600s without being hungry first thing in the morning, without eating all day long. It's just not possible. The amount of calories you would need to eat to maintain your body weight and to actually go up the 200 pounds that you gained to get to that point. I mean, yeah, you are doing some serious eating. So the first thing she needs to do is be honest with herself and realize how she got there in the first place, not by taking it easy.
Oh man, the second I heard her trying to justify all the food she's eating, I just knew Dr. Now wasn't gonna let that fly. Also, Latonya, what doctor could you possibly be talking to that told you eating that much for breakfast was a good idea?
So how much weight do you think I would have to lose before you approve me for surgery?
Well, I'm gonna give you a month, and I want you to lose at least 40 to 50 pounds in 1 month. So if you stick to the diet I gave you, that shouldn't be a problem for you. You think you can do that?
I can do it.
Okay, the challenge has been set. Let's see if Latonya can actually lose the weight this time around.
I'm tired. Just to tell you the truth, like, if it wasn't for you, I really don't even think I'd be fighting this hard.
And that's really a bad way to do it. It might seem enthusiastic to say, you know what, I have kids, I have family members, I'm doing it for you, I'm trying to save my life for you. But really, that's the worst place to be. Because if you're going to lose weight and you got to lose that much weight, you're doing it for yourself. Because you got to realize that you're on death's door and you're trying to save your life right now. If you really don't want to be doing this, you can't do it for other people. Because you're going to end up failing, and that's what a lot of people do. They do it because other people encourage them to do it. They do it because they got all these people telling them, okay, you need to lose weight, we're afraid for you, this and that, and they're trying to talk them into it. But when they get this bad and they are so close to death, if they're not doing it for themselves, if they're not realizing that they've hit rock bottom, just like she realized she hasn't hit rock bottom because she thinks it could have been a whole lot worse, according to her bad attitude, yeah, she's not going to get too far, and it doesn't look like she probably did either.
I was like, I don't even care if I get up in the morning.
Latonya does not seem to be in the best of spirits as she pulls up for her follow-up appointment.
A month ago, my weight was 631. And Dr. Now gave me a goal of losing 40 pounds by today. So my hope is that I'm at least down to 551 today.
$636.
Apparently, second time is not the charm. Latonya is still in the chair and she put on the weight.
Exactly what I was saying. She wasn't doing it for herself. She hasn't realized how desperate the situation is yet. She's still putting her food addiction over anything else, and she's being dishonest about the situation. And when you're in that position, you're not going to do well. You need to be honest and realize how bad things are if you're going to succeed.
I don't need to tell you that Dr. Now is not gonna like this.
And
So
it's
where did you paint?
right here in my leg. And it's really, really light.
In your leg?
Yes. It ain't never been this big. It get big, Dr. Now, but like,
All right.
Oh, that chuckle tells me he's not buying the blood clot theory.
You came here last time. We gave you exercises to follow with physical therapy to help you start getting out of your chair. And you didn't do that. And you were supposed to lose 40 pounds over the last one. But instead, you gained weight. And instead of waking up to things, you're deflecting the situation by saying, you're in pain. Yeah, you should have pain because you are 636 pounds. And you're worse off more than ever now because you're lying so much to yourself you believe that you lie.
Oh my god. Well, I think the bit in her leg is now her secondary concern because that has got to hurt.
I mean, yeah, she's still lying to herself about what she's doing. She knows that the mass on her leg is bigger than it's ever been. It's causing her all this pain, but she's using it as an excuse not to lose weight rather than drive her towards getting to her goals. I used my knees as an excuse to move forward, to lose the weight, to get the surgery, and now I'm down 200 pounds, and my knees are still pretty bad off, but they're a lot better than they used to be. I'm a lot more active.
Dr. Now did not hold back at all, and honestly, who can blame him?
Now you can step up.
Sure. I'm a little nervous because it's been a long time since I went and weighed myself.
Your weight is 684.
Oof, Gino's first weigh-in is well over 600 pounds, so you know Dr. Now is gonna make him work pretty hard before he can qualify for surgery.
We've all been noticing it, but I've noticed it a lot coming down here that he couldn't even take this ride, and I thought it was fine. He hides a lot of it.
You can't honestly say that someone who's almost 700 pounds is hiding how bad off their weight problem is. So this is something you tell yourself to justify enabling him.
Oof, yeah, that's another rough statement from Dr. Now right there. Absolutely, the enabler is going to take the blame off themselves because they do feel a little bit of guilt for what they've done, getting the person to be that big. But they're not going to admit it to anybody. Of course, they're going to lie about it and say, wow, I didn't realize he was getting that big. He was hiding his weight. How can you hide your weight? You're almost 700 pounds, dude. There's no way that he is hiding it. You just don't want to see it because you don't want to take any part of the blame for what you've been doing to him, and that's disgusting. If he's going to get better, it's going to require you to stop enabling him, take part of the blame, and change your behavior as much as he needs to change his.
Right there, Dr. Now identifies the enablers, but he's not done with the family quite yet.
And I want to lose weight with him, and I'll be at his door pushing him.
Okay, so, I'm going to give you 1 month. If you stick to a healthy eating habit and the instruction I'm going to give you, you're going to be able to lose 60 pounds easily. Okay?
Okay, so Gino now has to lose 60 pounds in a month, and his cousin Nico is going to be helping him along on the adventure. These two have been enabling each other for a long time, so hopefully they can both break their bad habits together.
The trip back here wasn't as bad as the first time, so I'm just hoping I made enough progress to be at my goal. And Nico is feeling good about his progress, and is thinking he may want to do Dr. Now's program too. So I'm hoping Dr. Now lets him do that.
Let's go, baby. Time to weigh it in.
The two cousins are back in Houston, and that's actually really encouraging. Gino appears to be optimistic about his weigh-in, and Nico is so motivated that he wants to join the program as well.
At my first appointment, Dr. Now told me to lose 60 pounds in 1 month. So if I did that, I'd be down to 624 today.
You want to step up on the scale?
Yeah.
Your weight is 629.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, not bad, Gino. That confidence was justified.
That's a little bit shy of your goal, but not bad. So I'm happy with that. So the next step is for you to move to Houston. And if you do that and you keep losing more weight during that, then I'll approve you for weight loss surgery.
Cool. Okay, that's gotta be good to hear. Even though it wasn't the full 60, Gino is now one step closer to getting that coveted weight loss surgery.
But don't think because you work hard for a month, you can slack off and stop making progress. And this is not the 1 month victory lap for you.
I mean, that's very solid advice because one of the biggest struggles that I had, because I was an emotional eater, is if I had any amount of victory, I was able to do it for a month. I made my goals for that month. I lost the weight and I saw it on the scale. It's very easy to say, you know what, I deserve a celebration. I'm going to go and get this cheat meal. I'm going to order out on the way home. I'm going to do whatever. Hey, Mom, can you make me this huge meal? I absolutely deserve it because I worked so hard. But really, if you're trying to change your eating habits, it's something you need to do for the rest of your life. You can't look at food as a celebration in that way anymore. Yeah, if you're having holidays and stuff like that, you're gonna eat, right? It's just part of our culture. But you gotta stop looking at food in that same way that you did before. And you can't turn around and celebrate with food because you had a good scale victory. Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna end up going back to your old eating habits. I've done it time and time and time and time again. And then again and again. Like I've always done it. I would do great, then I'd gain the weight back. And then for the second month, I would really struggle. and then I'd have to work even harder to lose the weight that I gained in that second month, and it would take even longer to get to the point where I needed to be. So that's where a lot of people fail in their dieting, is they still turn to food to celebrate. They think they deserve it because they've went so long without eating the way that they want to eat. But again, you need to stop thinking of food in that way. Find another way to celebrate. Do something else that you enjoy. If you keep turning to food, then you really haven't solved the mental issues, because you're still turning to food for that reward, and that's absolutely something you shouldn't be doing.
Right.
That's a very important warning right there. It's easy to slack off when you're moving, and Gino can't afford to backtrack.
I'm a little nervous because it's been a long time since we've been here. It only took 5 months. I really hope that we have the progress we need to get approved for the surgery.
The moving process didn't go too smoothly for these two, so they're a few months late to their follow-up appointment, and we know Dr. Now isn't gonna like that.
I was at 629 the last time I was here, and Dr. Now said I need to at least lose 50 pounds a month. But I don't think he meant for that to be for 4 months, because that would mean I would need to have lost another 200 pounds to get down to 429. And I think I did good, but not that good. Okay. I thought I was gonna be unhappy. Could have been worse.
I agree, 200 pounds is a little ridiculous, but it should have been more than 70.
Nico was supposed to lose about 25 pounds a month, so that would mean he'd have to lose 100 pounds. But like for me, I don't think Dr. Now meant for either of us to have lost that much each month for this long. So hopefully Nico has enough weight loss.
Really not.
Oh no, Nico didn't even reach his 1 month goal, never mind 4 months.
I mean, yeah, that's absolutely what happens when you take for granted being away from the doctor, not doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you're in the program, you need to be in the program. Yeah, you had a difficult time moving down to Houston, but that doesn't mean you can't go back for your monthly appointments. That doesn't mean you need to slack off on your diet. And again, because you celebrated, you thought you can get off your diet, and then that allowed you to not do what you're supposed to do.
It is now 4 months later, and you have been losing 18 to 19 pounds a month instead of 50. And Nico, you have been losing 4 to 5 pounds a month instead of 25. So what's the point of moving down here if you're not going to do what you need?
That's fair.
Dr. Now acknowledges that these two were doing well before, so maybe that's just why he's going easy on them here. Still, you never want to get that "I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed" speech from Dr. Now.
So Nico, what's going on with you? You did a lot worse with your weight loss. So what happened to you?
I know. Honestly, I'm disgusted with it. I lost my focus a little. I know coming down here, I'm ready to work and prove that I could lose weight.
Seriously, it's the tone of shock mixed with minor disgust that just cuts right through you.
I finally made it to Houston. I'm tired, nervous, happy, and scared. I'm kind of scared to see the scale myself.
Are you ready?
Ready as I'm gonna be.
Patrick's not looking forward to seeing the number on Dr. Now's scale, and I'll be honest, I can't blame him one bit.
I think I'm over 600 pounds, but I haven't weighed myself in a few years.
Okay, you're waiting.
I often get a lot of comments from people who say, Big T, how can you not realize you're gaining weight? And when you get that big, yeah, 50 pounds to a big person who is almost 700 pounds is a lot like you gaining 15 to 20 pounds. It's really hard to know. You just don't realize it. Maybe you feel a little more sluggish or whatever, but when you spend a lot of your time in bed because you're not exercising, you're not working, you're not doing anything but maybe playing video games or watching TV all day long, it gets more difficult to tell how that weight is packing on you. And there's times I've gained 100 pounds and didn't realize it, and I was shocked to go back to the doctor's office and stand on the scale and like, wow, I've gained over 100 pounds. What in the world happened? Well, I knew what happened because during COVID, I was splurging on all kinds of food. It was very easy. DoorDash came to my city, and so I got caught up in my old eating habits. But I was still shocked. I mean, it's just the way it is. When you gain 50 pounds like that and you don't think, well, am I over 600 pounds? It's been a while. Maybe I'm just a touch over. And then, wow, I'm 659. That's 60 pounds more than I thought I weighed. It's very easy to get to that point where you just start gaining gobs of weight and you didn't even realize how you got there.
It's 657.
Yeah, you're over 600 pounds and by quite a good margin.
That's a little bit of a shock, to be honest with you. That's higher than I was expecting.
Well, hopefully the shock of the number can help him start losing weight, but we know that Dr. Now is going to have some words before he goes on his merry way.
According to your chart, you have multiple medical issues, I see, like diabetes
Yes.
and sleep apnea.
Yes.
So your body is clearly heading to a breaking point soon. How is your mobility?
I can get around them.
Because with how your body is doing, if you lose your mobility, then that is likely going to be it for you.
I mean, yeah, that's the rock bottom moment a lot of people at that size face. You start to develop multiple health issues, not just one, not just two. When I talk about this stuff, I say, well, you know, maybe you get high blood pressure, maybe you start getting diabetes, maybe this, maybe that. But it starts rolling downhill very fast at that point. Then the medical issues start piling up. Then you got multiple issues that you're dealing with. Sleep apnea on top of high blood pressure, on top of pain, on top of, like, it really starts to get super bad. And still, that addiction to food becomes even more difficult to overcome, because the longer you have that addiction, the more difficult it is to pry yourself away from it. So that's where the difficult part is.
So Patrick has more medical issues beyond his weight, and his limited mobility is basically the only thing keeping him alive. No matter how you slice it, he desperately needs to lose the weight.
You're 42 and you've been diabetic for 5-6 years and you're eating candy. You remind me the guy came in and said, my head hurt when I hit it with baseball bat.
Well, I've never heard it put that way before, but you know what? That's really the perfect analogy.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like, why are these fat activists all the time saying that there's no consequences for obesity, but all these stuff start happening to them and they're like, well, it's not my fat that's doing that. It's because society has kicked us out. I did that one reaction video where that so-called nutritionist said, you know, it's not the fat that's causing the diabetes and the blood sugar and the blood pressure and all these issues. It's the way society treats the fat people. That's what causes those things. Wow, I didn't realize that mistreatment from society can put all that extra sugar into your blood and make your pancreas go crazy. Like, are you being serious right now? That is complete ignorance. To blame everything else and say it's not your fat. Anyways, guys, that's my video for today. I really appreciate you tuning in. Please like, please comment, please subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. I'll be back as soon as I can. I love you guys. God bless you.